it's so nice to see the screen all full of faces. Take a moment to allow yourself to arrive on the mat. So if you're sitting, release the shoulders. You have the option to lie on your back. Just coming into a space that allows you to arrive. And if you choose to, you can close your eyes. Maybe just have a soft gaze. And begin connecting with the rhythm of your breath. And notice in this moment what that looks like. So depending on the inner forecast of your body, the rhythm of your breath can change. So at this moment, what might you need to let go of? What might you need to give yourself more of in order to come to a space that's creating nourishment for your body? It's a Sanskrit word, it's called aparigraha. It means letting go, non-attachment. And so our practice today will be after that theme. But of course, I invite you to bring any intention to your space. Whatever your intention is, allow it to, like a pebble, drop into a stream and connect to the frequency that can reverberate throughout your body so that each shape you get into reminds you of this intention. And if as you go inward, there are a couple of doors that seem to have a whole lot of noise going on, you can choose to close that door, or you can notice the noise and not engage. Allow the shoulders to relax wherever you are. Maybe take a few deep breaths in and out. Recognizing that in this practice, we aim to turn on our parasympathetic nervous system. So we're getting out of fight or flight. We're coming to that part of our chemistry where we feel a little more relaxed, where the body can renew, where we can regenerate, where we can allow ourselves to just be us. On the next breath, allow yourself to flutter the eyes open if they were closed, and slowly work your way down so that you come onto your backs and then hug the knees in. And as you settle onto the mat, Connect the shoulders. Almost zip the spine up to the mat. And then slowly extend the right leg. Let it touch the mat. Maybe direct the toes towards you. And then allow this left leg to open out to any degree towards the left. So you're going to bring the foot down to the mat. Maybe allowing your left hand to rest on the knee. And then feel what that feels like. So are you ready to move into that space where you can feel sensation? Or might you need a block under your knee? Need a little more support? Or a blanket? And then notice as you're here, how the base of your spine lifts. So that maybe if you stick that right hand under, that space is there. So can you work to minimize the space to any degree? And then begin to settle. So if this is your first yin practice, I'll just introduce a few things that are important to note. In a yin practice, we're coming into the shape, whatever shape that is. We're working to feel some sort of sensation in the shape because the idea is that we're connecting to our bodies. We're going to use the sensation that you're feeling because you're in these shapes for a longer period of time. The sensation, we want to move from the outer muscles and get to your connective tissue. We don't want you to feel pain. So the sensation should be such that you can hold it for a period of time. You can sustain the shape. And then once you're in the shape, notice if you're still gripping, if the muscles are still gripping because whatever shape that you're in, you might be holding on, right? So we're going to use this theme of aparigraha, letting go in the shapes, making space, finding clarity. And then we use time to give the body a sense of how can it stay in this shape to let the magic of the practice happen. And in getting to the connective tissue, we're helping to lubricate, give more strength, create some elasticity, and just overall helping the joints so that we don't become stiff in a shape. The yin practice is also meditative, so you might find that as you relax in a shape, your mind is not always welcoming of the stillness. And so I invite you to use your breath each time you find that you're walking away to check the list of things that you might have to do, things in the past, things in the future, and just bring yourself back to the present. Honor your body because you've given yourself time to come to the mat. And so minimizing the amount of distractions that can come up to take away from that time. And very slowly use that left hand to cup the outside of your left leg. Bring that left leg up. Slowly drag the right leg into your chest. Extend the left leg out. And then work to open the right leg over to the right. And then once you're in the shape, being aware of how the sensation might be different on this side. Can you release in the shoulders? Can you release in the hips? And allow yourself to be mindful of any sort of sharp pain or tingling. And if you feel any of those, slowly bring yourself out of the shape. I invite you in the stillness of each shape to go a little deeper. Begin peeling back the layers. Knowing that the fact that you've shown up on the mat means that you're on the right path. And work to access inspiration from a point of wisdom that in stillness we can usually connect to. Slowly lift the right leg, bring it back to center. Let both feet come to the mat. And cross the right leg over the left. So you're going to cross that leg over the left thigh. Allow the right leg to open up to any degree. And then very slowly, lift the left leg off of the mat. Maybe interlace the fingers around the left thigh and pull the left thigh in any amount. Flex that left foot so it remains active. And then if you'd like, you can allow your elbow, so the right elbow, to gently nudge that right knee open a little more So you're pulling and pushing at the same time. And if you find it easier, you can just use the left hand to hold on to the left thigh and use the right hand to rest on the right knee as you gently push it out. Connect with where the sensation is coming up here. Because each of us, we're different, the sensation arises in different spaces for different people. And neither is right nor wrong. I'm just inviting you to feel and to connect. And then wherever your sensation is, just think about what's happening in the body. So as the sensation moves from your muscles and time allows, the work of the body is getting deeper. Allow your breath to be easy. And then slowly unwind that. Grab onto both of your feet and come to happy baby. So you're pulling the knees down and out, grabbing onto the feet. Just hold in this position. And the feet could be close in, could be wide apart, whatever feels good in your body. If you bring the feet wide apart, notice how the sensation increases right at the joints. Right at the hip joint, that's happening. Let the balls of your shoulder plug into the mat as if they were paperweights. Relax the spine. And on the next breath, release, bring the knees close in, hug them into the mat. Plant both feet down onto the mat. And now cross the left leg over the right thigh, letting that right knee drop open to any degree. Slowly lift the right leg. So lifting the foot off of the mat. Using your right hand to pull that right thigh in any amount as you gently open up on the left, sending the left knee out. And then as you're moving from shape to shape, release the jaw. Notice how you might be clenching down there. Maybe let go in the facial muscles if you might be frowning. and work to invite this aparigraha into the practice, letting go. Sometimes we can come to the mat thinking that we need to get into these twists and knotted shapes, but we tend to come to the mat already twisted, right? Already in knots. So what we're looking for is to untie those knots, make space, find clarity, treat our body with compassion. Very slowly unwind that shape, place both feet down to the mat. Allow the shoulders to fall open. Swing both knees over to the left side. Notice if you need a blanket or your block to place under the knees to bring the mat closer to you if you aren't all the way down. Open the arms out to a T. And then allow the gaze to go over to the right. If you like, you can bring the knees a little closer up to the chest and use that left hand to anchor both knees down. Either way, find a version of this shape that works for you. One that invites sensation on a 3 to 5 scale. Then begin releasing the muscle around the bone. And notice how instinctively we tend to grip in the body. And how many times unconsciously we might be doing that when we're off the mat. Notice if you have walked away from the mat, because in silence your mind is always looking to go to the next thing. Bring yourself back using the breath. Yin is more of a mindful and meditative practice, so allow yourself to go deeper, because in working through the inner landscape, we discover things that we didn't even know existed. Slowly bring the knees back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. And then work to bring both knees over to the right side. Extend both arms out. Work to direct that left shoulder to your mat. And feel how in doing that, the sensation on your lower back might increase. So come to a point in this shape where you can hold it for a couple of minutes. And if it doesn't work for you, then find some version of it that does. The yin practice is less about what the shape looks like and more about what it feels like in your body. Being very aware of the fact that we all have different bodies, and so the shape shows up differently in each of us. And so you're using the shape to get into your body. You're using the shape to go a little deeper. You're using the shape to find out how is it that you navigate when you're in uncomfortable shapes or situations. What is your tendency? What is your habitual practice? Are you quick to reverse? Or do you tend to stay on the periphery? Or do you, because you're accustomed to being uncomfortable, delve a little deeper so that you can figure out what is it that I need to do in a space like this? And how does all of this show up off the mat? Slowly roll back to center. Hug the knees into the chest and just roll from side to side, giving your spine a massage. And then whenever you're ready, you can either rock up, swinging yourself into a wide-legged child's pose. So bringing the feet to touch. The knees can be wide or not. So it's, once again, whatever is comfortable for you. Set yourself up so that if your knees needs to be padded, it is. And then allow yourself to walk the hands out, letting the torso drape onto the mat as much as it can. And then when you get here, you can allow yourself to either stack, hands on top of each other, rest the forehead there, or with the right hand, walk the right hand over to the left, extend that left arm up, coming to a threaded needle on the left side. So pick whatever works for you in this child's pose. Either arms extended, arms stacked, or threading the needle. Sending the right arm under the left, extending the left arm and coming to a wide-legged version twist, so to speak. We are conditioned to move towards people or things that appeal to us and away from things that do not. Upeksha, a Sanskrit word meaning even-mindedness and non-attachment, encourages us to let go. It is a mode of indifference and a state of mind where you can maintain balance amidst joy, sorrow, gain, or loss. Can you experience the sensation of your shape without becoming attached to it? Can you allow it, knowing that everything is impermanent? And can you rise above it while acknowledging that it is happening and still be objective about it? So noticing your shape without any judgment. Feeling the sensation without doing anything. And allowing for time to allow the shape to nourish your body. So shifting away from this idea of striving, getting into the shape and allowing. Coming to the breath and noticing. Sometimes it's not what we do, but how we do it. Being mindful that this wonderful vessel that is our body continue to provide for us. And so in these shapes, we're hoping to provide for the body. We're giving back. If you're in thread, the needle, allow yourself to unwind. Come to center by allowing the arms to extend out to the front. Taking a couple breaths here before extending that left arm underneath the right and extending the right arm out to the top of your mat. And if your arms were stacked in this wide-legged child's pose, maybe turning the cheek to the right and allowing for a different version of the shape to come up. Send the hips back towards the heels. Release the shoulders. And allow the spine to untangle like a strand of pearls, releasing it towards the mat. And then checking in with what you're feeling. Is this a shape that you're not fond of? If so, why? Is this a shape you are fond of? And if so, why? And neither is right or wrong, it just is, and allows you to have a beginner's mind and work towards a personal inquiry as to how your body responds in different situations. Slowly unwind that. Come up to a table. Let the knees be directly below the hips. Let the palms be firmly planted and rooted into your mat, directly under the balls of your shoulder, and use your breath and take a few cat-cows. So on the inhale, dropping the belly, tailbone is going to go up, heart comes forward. And then on the exhale, arching the spine, pushing the mat away, maybe bringing the chin into the chest, releasing the neck. Inhale to cow. And then exhale into cat. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. And then you come back to a neutral spine. Walk the wrist out about one palm up. Tuck the toes. Send the hips back and up and come to your downward facing dog. Send the hips back and up. Move the heels of the hands into your mat. Let your breath be easy. Hug the elbows in. Let a slight bend come to the knees. And then slowly walk the feet to meet the hands. Come to a forward fold. Cross the left leg behind the right. Notice how that changes the sensation of the shape. Come to the fingertips. And on the inhale, lift the spine up halfway. So you're coming to a half lift. And on the exhale, release the head towards the knees to any degree. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, head towards the knee. One more inhale, come to the fingertips, half lift here. Feel what's happening in the hamstrings and exhale to release. Step the left leg back in line with the right. Remain in your forward fold. Bend the left knee. Place that left hand to the middle of both feet. Take an inhale, twist to the right, lifting that right shoulder, twisting the body up to the right. If you have more to go, extend that right arm up. Connect to your breath. Direct the navel up to the right. Slowly release that. Let the head hang. Let the right foot come to the outside. So behind and outside of the left. And again, come to the fingertips. On the inhale, lift halfway. Let the spine be long here. And then on the exhale, release, let the head go in towards the knee. Inhale to lift. And exhale to release. Inhale to lift. And exhale to release. Bring the right leg back in line with the left. Put a slight bend in the right knee. Plant the right hand down on a block or on your mat. Gently begin spilling upward, twisting, and then lengthening that left arm up. Using your inhales and exhales to allow for the rotation of your spine. Slowly release that left arm, fold back down. Step the left foot back. Maybe bring that right foot forward a little so that you can come to a runner's lunge. If you have your blocks, you can place the blocks to frame that right foot. So allow the hips to sink forward a little. And then on the exhale, push up. Let that right leg straighten. Let the body fold over. Take a couple breaths here. And then on the inhale, bend. Lengthen the spine. Direct forward, open the heart. And then on the exhale, send the hips back. Fold the torso over. Let the head hang. One more dip. Slow and intentional. Allow yourself to feel what it feels like in your body. On the exhale, fold over. Bring that left leg to the front. Come to your forward fold. Send the right leg back. Bend into that left knee. Take a moment. Set up your blocks. Extend that right leg. Allow yourself to sink a little lower. And then release, sending the hips back, straightening that left leg, folding over. On the inhale, bend into the left, heart is forward. And then on the exhale, send the hips back, fold over, head towards the knee. One more inhale, dip. And an exhale, fold. Couple walk that right leg up, fold over. And then allow yourself to swing the torso over to the left. And both hands could possibly frame that left foot as you turn to the left side.
I think Lisa is gone.
Wondering why were they?
Maybe we should move to the right side.
She probably lost connection. Here, she's back.
Lisa, you're muted. Oh, there you are.
Look what happened.
You go.
Where did we leave off?
We were hanging on the left side in a forward fold.
All right, thank you. So
It
did
was
we do the right
lovely.
side? Okay, so in your forward fold, swing the torso over to the right. Come back to center. And then step the feet back and come to your downward facing dog. Send the heels, the hips back and up, sorry. Hug the elbows in. find a smooth rhythm of the breath, even in your downward facing dog. Then slowly release, let the knees come down to the mat. Come down to your stomachs and find yourself in Sphinx. So in Sphinx, you allow the forearms to come down to the mat, untuck the toes, come to a slight back bend. If you have blocks and you want a little more sensation, you can allow the blocks to come under the forearms. And then once you're in your Sphinx, allow the shoulders to release. You're directing the sternum forward, but you're softening the ribs. And then release the grip that you might have in your glutes. Release the shoulders. You must learn to get in touch with the innermost essence of your being. The true essence of who we are is beyond the ego. It is fearless. It is free. It is immune to criticism. And it does not fear challenge. It is beneath no one. It is superior to no one. And it is full of mystery and enlightenment and promise. So as you go inward, as you walk through the many doors that create who we are, as you move away from the external, can you instead walk towards the essence? And you find your truth there. And can you practice connecting with that so that each time you respond to a situation, you're responding from a space of truth, from a space of no judgment, from a space of no motive. So from your Sphinx, you can bring yourself up to a child's pose. And then whenever you're ready, bring yourself down onto the backs. Then allow yourself to grab whatever it is you need to luxuriate in your Shavasana. So if that's blocks under your feet, a pillow under your hips, a blanket over your thighs. Pull in whatever support you need. Sometimes in life we tend to resist the need for support, the need for help, the need to ask. But the experience is so much more different if we are supported than if we are not. Let your bones get heavy. Take up space in your mat. Let your breath get easy. And release into your Shavasana. Begin to make small movements with your hands and with your feet. And then whenever you're ready, come to one side and slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. And as you do so, relax the shoulders. Lengthen the spine. Direct the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale, lift the arms out and up. And as you release, bring the palms to touch down to the center of your heart. Relax the shoulders. When we say namaste at the end of practice, it translates to the light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. So in acknowledgement for you coming to your mat today, joining me this morning in the practice, I say to each of you, namaste.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, everyone. I want to make sure I see all who signed up and say hello to everybody that I didn't see. Hi, Zan.
Thank you.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Yolandra.
Honey. Thank you so much. This was lovely.
Oh, there's Tara. I didn't see Tara and Donna. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much.
Awesome class.
Guys, have a wonderful 4th.
You too.
I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.